Everyone, my name is Ellen Linehan, and I run the Distinguished Young Women of Brookfield and Elm Grove program here at the Elmbrook School District. And so I just want to send you a video that will help to explain some of what we're all about and what we do. And hopefully this will answer some of the questions that you may have. I also have a handout that is hyperlinked onto this, so I'll send that as well to go along with the video. So, Distinguished Young Women is a program that was established in 1958. You may have heard of it as America's Junior Miss. It changed names in 2011, I believe it was. And it's really just an incredible opportunity for young women to earn some scholarship money for college on a variety of different levels, whether it's the local, state, or national level, and whether it's specific to one university or if it's a cash scholarship that they can apply to any school that they might attend. There are a lot of opportunities. There have been more than $1 billion in college scholarships that have gone out in the past year alone. So there are a lot of opportunities, and hopefully this is a great fit for your daughter. I think it's probably a valuable experience for anyone, regardless of scholarships, but I'm a little bit biased. So here we go. So there's a club at Elmbrook School Districts, and there's also a competition. And this is unique to our district because I just saw some opportunities for it to be on a club level where it wouldn't necessarily have to be a competition. So the girls have a choice to make whether they want to be in the club or they want to do the competition, or maybe they want to do both. So there are two different ways to sign up here. For the club, we basically have a lot of volunteer opportunities that they can get involved and lead some younger children in the district in opportunities to teach them about how to be their best self. And then for the competition, there's an online registration, and that deadline is actually at midnight on Halloween. So that's just a few days away. So I wanted to make sure everybody's got this information in time. So in the competition, we focus more on interview skill training. They also have scholarship opportunities, which would not be something that they would have with the club. And then they have the possibility of possibly moving on to the state level and maybe even to the national level, depending on how they do. So there are 5 categories of competition. Scholastics consist of 25%. That's taking a hard look at their courses that they've taken, the grades that they've gotten, and any test scores that they might have. The interview is 25%. That happens on the day of the program, which for our program, it is Saturday, January 13th. And it's a 10-minute interview that they do with a panel of 6 judges, and the judges will ask them personal questions based on the forms that they fill out about their favorite movies, their activities, that sort of thing. But then it could also be current events and timely topics that are fair game as well. The talent is 20%, and that is a performing art talent. It has to be done live on the stage. So people sing, dance, do martial arts. They've done speed painting. We've done monologues, lots of different possibilities for a performing art talent, but it is 90 seconds only. The fitness routine, and you can see I have hyperlinks here. So when you have this video or this actual presentation, you can click on those videos and see some examples of what those look like. But the fitness routine is a choreographed fitness routine that basically assesses the level of fitness in the areas of flexibility, stamina, strength, things like push-ups, sit-ups, burpees, balance moves. So it's a fun routine set to music. And then the girls also have a little highlighted individual section that they do. So they're on stage with a group, but they do have one little opportunity at the very end of the routine where they get to do their own solo that's choreographed. And then finally, there's self-expression, which is worth 15%. This is where we give them a question on the day of the program, and they have some time to prepare it, think about how they want to answer it, and then they actually answer that question on stage at the program in the evening. So we have volunteer opportunities for club and competition. There's a Sign Up Genius here, and the girls have access to this already as well. Many of them have already signed up and taken advantage of some of these opportunities. Some of the things we do are boot camps at the elementary schools. The holiday parades are coming up, and we need people to carry the banner and to pass out the candy. The representatives from the class of 2024 will be riding in the parades, and then we need some girls to walk along the side as well. On November 9th, we'll be going to the Pabst Mansion to help prepare for the holiday festivities there. We'll be walking up and down those stairs many, many times that day, from the attic down to the lower rooms below, with holiday decorations to deliver to those rooms in preparation of decorating for the holidays. The Dixon Elementary Nutcracker is near and dear to my heart because my daughter started that program when she was a junior in high school. It's a completely student-run adaptation of the Nutcracker that is exactly an hour long. And it's all the little kids from the elementary school, and it's just absolutely delightful. So they need lots of hands on deck to help kind of keep those kids under control for the practices and for the performance. So we have opportunities to volunteer with that as well. There may be some opportunities through the city of Brookfield. I'm always interested in finding parades and for maybe the tree lighting that happens during December. The lung health awareness presentations, I don't believe those are still running at the middle schools. I'll probably have to take that off of our list, but that was something we used to do prior to COVID. And then the high interest days at the elementary school in the spring are always a fun time. The girls really enjoy going in, teaching the younger kids how to do a proper handshake and maybe teaching them a fitness routine. Super fun, and they get to be great role models for those little girls. So we do have a fundraising incentive program, and I'll have much more detail about this coming out next week once I have my actual competition group solidified. This doesn't really pertain to the club girls. They're not quite as motivated to raise money for the competition portion of it. But I have some links here that explain that there's an incentive program. There's a letter to give to businesses to help them know how to approach somebody in a professional manner and see if they'd be willing to make a donation. So as a bottom line, if they raise $250 in fundraising, they get a $50 award, and then it progresses from there. So these are not awards that they receive on stage. They're awards that we'll do privately as the group after the program. But they do have an incentive for getting out there and with a little hustle and seeing if we can get some donors for the scholarships. So we are doing a Lou Malnati's fundraiser. It will go through Monday, December 4th. And it's a little bit different this year because the school is trying to go completely cashless in all of its fundraising efforts. So there's a form that will be linked on here that they can use to actually fill out and keep track of the people that have bought coupons from them. But in a nutshell, they're $10 for a coupon. Oh, I'm sorry, it's $15 for a coupon. I said that backwards. It's $15 for a coupon, and we have to pay Lou Malnati's $10 for the coupon, but then $5 of their fundraising goes directly to their own fundraising efforts. So for $15, they get a coupon for a frozen pizza from Lou Malnati's, and then they would keep track of all of their sales, make one payment in the school's RevTrack system, which is something you've probably experienced in other ways, but I'll send out those details, where they'll make one payment for all of the coupons that they sell, and then they'll be responsible for actually delivering those to whoever bought them from them. And so these are just really super convenient way to have holiday gifts for teachers, mentors, neighbors, coaches. $15, and it kind of knocks it out. And most people are really excited to get those because it's, takes care of a meal. So consider who in your life might appreciate that. Market Day is an ongoing program that we do, and the benefits, all the proceeds from our sales go directly to our Distinguished Young Women Club. And this is something that is ongoing all year round. So you just go to marketday.com, create an account, and then be sure to select Brookfield Central High School as the designated group, because that is Distinguished Young Women. Even if you go to East, it's still put in BCHS, and it goes directly to the Distinguished Young Women Club. We're the only club that benefits from Market Day in the district. And just as a side note on that, it used to be, you may be familiar with it, where you had to go and pick it up at the elementary school or something and took your frozen items home on a given day of the month. But now it's delivered on dry ice to your home, so you don't have to actually go anywhere and pick it up. And I've had things delivered in the middle of summer, and it's still frozen if it sits outside for a couple hours, because the dry ice really works. So consider that. And you can send it even to grandparents. You could send some holiday pies if you wanted to somewhere, because it's all, it doesn't matter where it's being delivered, it's all done outside of what we have to deal with. So restaurant fundraiser nights, I'm sure you're familiar with these. A lot of different restaurants in the area do this, and it's usually about $100 or so that we bring in on a fundraiser night. So if the girls decide they want to do this, they just need to coordinate with me, set it up. It's super simple to do, and then we just advertise it a little bit, get the word out, and then whatever money we pull in from that fundraising night, they personally will get credit for it. So if they set it up, that fundraising amount goes in their fundraising total for that event. For silent auction baskets, this is for competition girls only. Unless they're in the club and they just want to do this, we will not turn down any donations. But we do run a silent auction each year at the event, and we're asking everybody in the competition group to bring in at least one basket that is valued at a minimum of $25. And this is pretty easy to collect. If you start asking businesses, most businesses will at least donate products or services. If they aren't willing to write a check to advertise, they probably will give you some product. But give them enough time, usually at least 2 weeks, to respond and to get the items. So if you do this too last minute, it might fall through. The final sale price of the item goes toward the participant's fundraising goal. So whatever it actually sells for, even if it's something that's valued higher, whatever it sells for is what we can give credit for the fundraising goal. So all of these awards we will give out privately with the girls after the program has concluded. It won't be on stage. The actual revenue from the silent auction goes towards next year's startup money for the group. So we have a little bit of money in our fund already from last year's silent auction. So they get individual credit for it, but the money itself goes towards next year's scholarships. All right. The program book ads are another way that they can raise money. A full page is $100, and it's broken down from there. Half page is $50, a quarter page is $25. Another thing that they can do is collect names of friends and supporters, and we'll put those in the program book. So I've hyperlinked the full books from the last 3 years, so you can take a look at some examples of ads and Star Card supporters. It's usually a pretty easy way for them to raise money, to ask their friends to donate $1. If they want a special font or a bigger font, they can charge them more money for it. They just keep track of all that, and they'll make one payment in the end for their total support. All right, we also have a hyperlink here for the names of businesses. So if you do secure a business ad or a donation, we just want to keep track of that so that we don't possibly ask them again, have somebody else go in and approach that same business. We want to make sure we're respectful of the community in that way. For competition details, the dress rehearsal is on Friday, January 12th. And the final showcase is on Saturday, January 13th at the Sharon Lynn Wilson Center, which is a huge, exciting change for us this year. We have been at Wisconsin Hills for 20 years. This is our 20th anniversary, and we are finally moving into a real professional theater. As much as we loved the hospitality at Hills, I think it'll be exciting to be in a professional theater this year. So why should we do this? There are a lot of scholarship opportunities. There are volunteer opportunities. It's great training for interviews, which we know everybody's going to have an interview at some point in their life. So getting some experience with that before the real one can be super helpful. They get to build up their resume. They get to show off how wonderful they are, get to make new friends. For a lot of girls, just doing the talent as a solo is an exciting thing. They've probably usually been in a group instead of in a solo situation. So having some choice over what they do and making the selection and the costuming and putting it all together on their own is really a great experience for them to have that type of control artistically. So what do they do if they win? There are parades, there are local appearances. We'll have a Be Your Best Self presentation. At the state program, they will be doing that. They get to help with the next year's program. So my outgoing girls this year, Melissa Keene and Maggie Fang and Lucy Irwin, will all be helping to choreograph and to help coordinate the girls for this year. So we count on those girls to stay involved and to be helping out with the following year as well. And then we have the boot camps in the spring at the various elementary schools, which are super popular, and they have a lot of fun doing that. So scholarships and awards, we do all of the fundraising ourselves. We do not have big corporate sponsor to just hand us a check. So if you happen to know somebody who wants to hand us a check, we will absolutely accept that from them. But essentially, the fundraising doesn't have anything at all to do with the competition. It's just nice to be able to give out some awards. So if it feels like this is all fundraising, it's really not. That's just giving some information from the start. The judges won't know who did any fundraising at all. That's all kept separately. So the nice thing is to be able to give out some awards. So I do encourage the girls to do some fundraising, and we do require the silent auction basket, but hopefully that's something that they have donated for them and that nobody's spending any money on that at all. Let's see. Typically we have awards for all 5 categories, and then we have 2 alternates in each category as well. So that's 15 total awards plus the placement awards. There's also something called the Spirit Award that the girls vote on for the girl that they feel has been the most encouraging and most like a sister in the program. And so they have a lot of opportunities. That's a lot of awards. That's about 20 awards for Brookfield alone. Elm Grove, right now we have 3 participants, so we'll probably keep it to just the category award for one for each category, just because there's so many fewer of them. But there are a lot of opportunities for awards in this program, which is great for the resume. Here are some examples of different things that you can tap into and watch. So the full program for the class of 2022 and for 2024, for some reason 2023 did not save on YouTube, but you do have those 2 full programs you can watch if you want to see what this really looks like on stage. And keep in mind, the stage is going to look different. 2022 was during COVID, and it was pre-recorded, so it was a very different kind of program where they recorded their elements ahead of time. 2024 is more like what this year will be like, although we'll be a more professional theater this year. You can also see Maggie Fang's State Fitness. She was the overall fitness award. You can see Lucy Irwin's local talent, Melissa Keene's local talent, and then various different elements from Erin Hu and Cynthia Liu, who are Brookfield and state representatives for the last 2 years. Here is my contact information, and you are welcome to reach out to me anytime. The email is definitely the best way to reach me. Feel free to text or call if it's an emergency, but I check my email very regularly, and that's really the best way to get a hold of me. So that's DYW in a nutshell. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. Again, just a reminder that the deadline for signing up for the competition is Tuesday at midnight, which is Halloween. And so right now we have 17 Brookfield girls and 3 Elm Grove girls signed up for the competition. We usually have a little bit of a surge right at the end, but maybe they're just more responsible this year because this is a pretty big group already. Maybe we won't have a big surge in the last 48 hours, but we're happy to have them, and we'll really try to make this an amazing experience for all of them. So thank you for your time, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions at all.